Hello, mateys. Well, shiver me timbers if it isn't me favorite people. Yes, that's you. Hi, this is Phil Shiver with Word Origins episode 15, I believe. We're staying on the high seas. You can still smell that salt air. It's blowing in your face. Shiver me timbers. We know that phrase. It's popular. It's a pirate phrase, of course. By the way, September the 19th is Talk Like a Pirate Day. Very popular internationally. So September 19th comes up, we're going to talk like a pirate. But shiver me timbers is a phrase that, what does it mean? Shiver me timbers if I'll do that to you, Tim. In the 14th, 15th century, shivers had a different name, had many meanings, several meanings. Okay, one of which was to break into pieces. So if a seaman said "shiver me timbers," he meant the timbers of my ship break into many pieces, and which is something, of course, he would never want to do. So it's sort of like, may that happen, may I be struck by lightning. So shiver me timbers is that. It was used in writing. We don't really know whether or not it was used on board ship, but it's a very popular pirate phrase. Probably comes from the Treasure Island movies. But anyway, shiver me timbers. A slush fund. Now, what is a slush fund? That also originated with not the actual slush didn't, but the phrase comes from the seafaring people. A slush fund is a fund of money that is unaccounted for, off the books. It can be used, and normally now we think of it as something that can be used for nefarious purposes, maybe to bribe people with. Politically, a slush fund is something that's nobody has to account for where it comes from. Well, it comes from the sea. When you've got 300, 400, 500 sailors on board these sailing ships, they have to eat. Well, they do. And what they did was they had these big barrels, and they would put salt pork. They would pack them with salt pork, salt beef, and all this, and to keep them for many years on board these ships. And when the cook would crack them open, they would put them into these big cauldrons and start boiling them. Well, what rose to the surface was what any fat that was in the beef or in the pork, and the cook would skim this slush. It was called slush, after the phrase slush meaning like a snow that's starting to melt. So the cook would skim off this slush, which was greasy, sort of like a can of Crisco, I suppose, and that would belong to him, meaning that was one of the perquisites of being on board the cook on board of a sailing ship. He would put all of this into a barrel and keep it, and he could sell it when he got to port. That was sort of something, a little extra money he could make. And of course, while they were sailing, sometimes sailors would need a grease for a block and tackle, or a grease for something. They would ask him for some of the slush, and he would give them to him. It would be nice of him. So today you've learned shiver me timbers comes from the sea. Break my ship apart. Don't break my ship apart. And the slush fund. I'm trying to think here. Don't get me confused. This is number 15 in Word Origins. Yes. Next time we're going to cover some between the devil and the deep blue sea, taken aback, and the bitter end. But not today. No. Well, have a good time in quarantine. This is Phil Shiver saying bye. It's not